Hi everyone, I'm Alvin. Welcome back to my channel. In the first two episodes, we built a simple portfolio manager application, and we also downloaded SEC filing data into the app. Now we are going to build more complex features. To do that, we need to store and process a larger amount of data. So today, before we move further, we need to know about how the data was stored. So I asked Codex, how does the portfolio manager app we built store its data? Codex told us that the app does not use an external database. Instead, it stores data as JSON files on the hard drive. We are going to ask Codex to upgrade our storage system to something better, something that can handle a much larger amount of data. If I want to store a large amount of financial data and news, and later use AI to summarize and search that news, how should I improve the data storage architecture? Codex explained that our current approach is a flat file approach. It is already close to its practical limit. It also suggested that we move from JSON files to a searchable data layer. Its recommendation was PostgreSQL with pgvector. I won't explain all of these technical terms today. If you are interested, leave a comment below and I can make a more detailed episode about databases and vector search. For now, we will simply let Codex do the work. I asked Codex to install PostgreSQL and migrate our existing JSON file-based storage into PostgreSQL. You do not need to understand all the technical details. Just tell Codex what you want and let it handle the implementation. After the installation, Codex told us it was migrating the data into PostgreSQL. It mentioned some technical terms like JSON and JSONB. Again, we do not need to go into those details for now. After the migration was completed, Codex ran a test query against PostgreSQL. It searched for AAPL, and it returned more than 25,000 company facts. That matches what we had before. So the migration seems successful. At this point, the database migration is complete, but visually, we probably cannot see much difference because we did not change the app's features yet. The app may run a little faster, but the difference is not very obvious. So now let's build something new. We are going to download financial news into the app. Previously, we only had company filings, company facts, and some stock price related data. Now we want to bring news into the system. I asked Codex how we can get financial news. It told us that there are many different sources. If a news provider offers an API, then we can retrieve data directly through that API. This is usually the most standard and legitimate way. Another way is to scrape websites. That means if we can see a web page, we write a program to extract the content from the page and save it into our database. But in general, web scraping is not recommended unless you understand the website's terms of service and usage rules. So I asked Codex another question. Which sources can I legally download and store in my database? Because each website may have different rules, we should not assume that everything on the internet can be freely copied and reused. Codex told us that the safest free sources are public sources, such as the SEC, the Federal Reserve, and other government or public data websites. It also mentioned RSS feeds, such as NASDAQ RSS feeds and investing.com RSS feeds. RSS is a common format for publishing updates and news. Many websites use RSS feeds to distribute their latest content. The advantage of RSS is that we do not need to scrape a web page. The website already provides a feed of the latest news. Our app can download the RSS feed and get the latest items. So RSS is a better option than scrape the sites. Now I asked Codex to create a new news page. I also asked it to download news every 6 hours. In addition, I wanted the app to tag each news item with related stock symbols and industries. These tags may not exist in the original news source, but we need them for our application. So I asked Codex to generate those tags. I also asked Codex to add filtering and search features. For example, I want to search by keyword, stock symbol, industry, or time range so that we can browse the news more effectively. After Codex finished, it said it had added the news page, downloaded news into the database, scheduled the download every 6 hours, added symbol and industry tagging, and implemented filters and full-text search. So now let's see the result. I refresh the app, and now we can see a news page. It has already downloaded 75 news items. Some of the news items also have tags, such as financial. Now I test the search function. I type in a stock symbol. The app filters the news and shows related results. Originally, there were 75 news items. After I searched for AAPL, it returned one related item. Then I searched for NVIDIA, and it returned 2 related news items. So this gives us a basic news search function. We can search by symbol, and we can also use full-text search. Now let's check whether the related news appears under a company page. There is now a related news tab. So the app has successfully connected relevant news to the company page. This completes the first simple task we gave Codex. Right now, the app downloads news from two RSS sources. Next, I asked Codex whether there are more financial or economic RSS feeds available. It listed quite a few. RSS is actually a very common format for distributing news updates, so we can find many news sources that provide RSS feeds. Most RSS feeds are free to download, but if you want to republish the content, you may need permission from the original provider. What we are discussing today is for personal use inside our own app. For that use case, downloading RSS news into our app is usually fine. Since Codex found many RSS sources, I asked it to add all of them into our app. I also asked it to keep the automatic download schedule, so the app can refresh the news every 6 hours. After Codex finished, let's check the result. We refresh the app and go to the news page. Now all the RSS news sources that Codex listed have been added, so we have many more news sources. Now let's click one of the news items. The app opens the original source page. This is useful because we do not necessarily need to download and store the full article content, unless we have a specific reason. Now, since there are many sources, the source list takes up a lot of space on the page. So I asked Codex to make a small UI improvement. Collapse the source list. If you feel the top section takes too much space, you can simply tell Codex to hide it, collapse it, or redesign it. After Codex made the change, we refresh again. Now the source list is collapsed into a single line. It also shows us how many sources are working, how many have no content, and whether any source has an error. So now we have a basic financial news pipeline. We upgraded the storage from JSON files to PostgreSQL, added a news page, connected multiple RSS feeds, downloaded news into our database, tagged news with symbols and industries, and made the news searchable inside the app. This is already useful. Instead of checking many different websites one by one, we can now collect financial news from different sources and browse them in one place. In episode 4, we will upgrade this news search from simple keyword search to AI-powered semantic search. We will use local embedding models, add relevance scoring, and sort news by how closely it matches our query. So today we built the financial news database. Next time we will make it intelligent. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. See you in the next episode.